Turn the page, light the spark. Magic lingers after dark. Plot twist, heartbreak, dragons too. Book club chaos coming through. Spoilers fly and curses sweep. Grab your favorite fantasy ship. Nikki and Justine are here. Your new book besties in your ear. Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast, where the stories are magical and the opinions are unhinged.
Hello. Welcome to the
Hello.
Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast. We are your hosts, Justine, and
Nikki.
we are just two girls who love books. And honestly, we love talking even more, especially about those books. So if you're someone who gets way too invested in fictional characters, has strong opinions about plot twists, or just loves a good book chat, you are in the right place. So we're so excited to book club with you today. But before we can dive in, just a quick heads up. This is your official warning. There will be spoilers and there will be some language. Today we are covering the last part of Accomplice to the Villain. So there's definitely going to be some spoilers. This is the last book that we have before the new one comes out in August. So consider yourselves warned. You ready, Nikki? Let's get into it.
Oh, I'm ready. Okay, because they're like every single page of this book for the last 25 chapters is what we're going over is like insane. Like there's
Crazy.
so much going on. I had to summarize all of it. It's crazy. Okay, so we left off at knowing that Tristan needed a informant or a contact to get into the place where his mother lives. And that was Jellyfish Jones, who is Tatiana's father. Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to meet him. Okay. We meet him, obviously, Jellyfish Jones. He's like a merchant. He's on a ship. And when we roll up, the ship is just pink, decked out pink.
Which is no surprise, honestly.
Right.
After
I mean,
thinking
Jellyfish
about
Jones,
Tati.
pink ship, yes, 100%. So I will say that Tati and her father have a beautiful relationship. They are probably the only like daughter and father, parent, and what are they called? Children, child, parent and child, good relationship in this entire book. I was gonna say sibling, and that was not right. I was like, no. So it's all decked out in pink, and Tati's like, yeah, he did it because it reminds him of me, but he could have just like painted his steering wheel. Like she thinks he's a little too much, but she loves it always. And Evie's like, oh, that's like really beautiful. I wish I had that. And she gets a little jealous.
Wow.
So she's like, okay, I'm really happy for Tati. She deserves that love, but I also wish I had that love. So she's also kind of like upset, right? And the villain notices this and he's like, the hell? So he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And she's like, okay.
Thanks for sharing.
And she's like, I don't understand why I need to come with you to go to the bathroom, sir. So he basically tugs her along into like a corridor or whatever with the door and whatnot. And he's like, just cry. Let it all out. Like, I know something's bothering you. Just cry. And she explains why she's upset. She's like, this is, you know, as birthdays go, it's not the worst one I've had. And he's like, what? It's your birthday? So we find out that Evie is 24. She is turning 24 right now. So he's like, the hell? So he's like, no. If you want your birthday, we're celebrating your birthday. Guess what? We're celebrating your birthday. So he's like, stay here. And she's like, the hell I will. He locks her in the room downstairs. And he's like charging up the stairs and he's like, Tati. Like he's like furious that he didn't know that it was her birthday, right? So he's like, Tati. And while he angrily says that to her, Claire like panics, has like a panic mode and throws this green ink at his eyes, which apparently just burns his eyes. And he's like, what the hell? Hating me isn't enough. You also have to like hurt me. And she's like, I'm sorry. I just reacted on instinct trying to protect Tati. Like, I'm sorry. And he's like, you have nothing to be sorry for. I am the villain. You're just trying to, you know, protect whatever. It's your instinct.
I get it.
And they both kind of walk away with like, oh shit, that really hurt him. And she's like, and Tati's like, and that hurt you. Like,
Yeah.
Interesting. Because like they're both caring for each other. They just don't know how to.
They
So-
are really bad at showing emotion.
Oh my god, they're the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them for how they grew up, to be honest with you, especially with Amara.
For sure.
But like, whatever. Anyway, he goes to Jellyfish Jones and he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something." And all of a sudden, because nothing can just go smoothly for this group, they get attacked by pirates. Of course they do. And the funniest thing is, Evie's having a great time because a cannonball goes straight through where she was, and the boss is like, "Oh my god!" He's like, Evie, are you okay?" And she's like, "This is the worst birthday present ever. It doesn't even have a bow." And he's like, "We're attacked by pirates," and then she's like, "Do you think they have a bow?"
Where is my present?
Right. So he's like, "All right, just calm down, stay there. Like we're gonna handle this, right?" So he starts hurting people, and as he's using his magic, his death magic, he's noticing, different colored spots on people. And red means that's where they were injured before, and that can really hurt them. And then, of course, black is the death spot. But now he's seeing a rainbow colored spot over everyone's hearts. And to kill something or really hurt something that reminds him of Sage just won't do.
Oh.
So instead of killing everybody and killing all the pirates, he just hurts them.
Swoon. That's cute.
I know. I thought it was the sweetest thing in the world. So as they're fighting these pirates, there's this one pirate that goes rogue, and he can't use his magic because it decided to falter on him. And he's like, "All right, 3 against 1, here I go." And then Evie Sage throws her dagger, kills him, and she's like, "Whoops, I was aiming a little lower. My bad. Aim's off." And he's just like, "Okay." So they capture all the pirates. They're safe and sound, and Evie and the villain have a sweet moment where he's like, "If you wanted to be celebrated on your birthday, would you want to be?" And she's like, "Well, it doesn't really matter. No one was there to celebrate my birthday. My mom, my brother were gone, and then I just had Lissa, and my dad was sick, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "But would you want to be?" And she was like, yeah, I would." So he makes the entire crew and pirates wish her a happy birthday. Is that not the sweetest thing in the world?
That's the sweetest
And they're like,
thing.
"You're not a villain. You're like a freaking puppy."
You're
Like, I
literally-
don't know. He's like, "I'll give her something to wish on," and like grabs his crotch. He throws him overboard, and Evie's like, "Swoon."
I
And
mean,
she's like,
same
"Don't
girl.
swoon." She literally says swoon over someone being thrown overboard for him. her.
That's
Yes.
my thing. Good job, Evie. Now she's
Yes.
on board.
I know. I thought it was great. In this time as well, as the pirate is kind of trash talking Evie and saying like, "I'm not saying happy birthday to this slut," whatever he was saying, he was like, "Evie is on my accomplice. Say happy birthday to her." So Evie gets promoted to accomplice.
Promotion.
The second promotion in like 2 months, which is
I
great for
know,
her.
she's
She's
doing
climbing that
great.
corporate ladder.
She's doing wonderful. I
In
love
this
this for
whole
her.
little fit too, he also, and I had to throw this in there for you, Justine, he calls her his. He's like, "She's mine. I mean, my accomplice." And I was like, "Oh, Tristan. Okay. So they put all the pirates downstairs in the brig or whatever. Everything goes smoothly, and they decide to throw her a birthday party that night.
Mhm.
She's talking to the villain during this little party, and for her present, she wants a dance with the villain. So they start dancing. And as they're dancing, of course, they're talking. And he pulls her aside, and he told her about a letter that his father had given him. And she is like, "Oh, like you actually read it?" Because, him and his father have estranged, and he was never going to read
Yeah.
this letter, but he decided to read it. And he's like, "Yeah, I read it." And he's like, "You're the first person I wanted to tell you. You're the first person I want to tell things to."
That's so sweet.
I know, isn't that sweet? So
That's
then
so
Evie,
cute.
so then Evie being Evie, of course, as they're dancing and having these sweet moments, she decides to make a little jokey joke.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. And she jokes about, she's like, "Oh, I want to know like all this information, so I have the story to tell, them." And he's like, Who are you telling your story to?"
Mhm.
And she's like, "I'm thinking girls, 2 little girls, ours."
Oh my god.
And he's like, what? And just, I'm just kidding, blah, 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 right? Party ends. They go to bed, and he cannot sleep because he is thinking about it all night. He's thinking
Aw.
about her and about that future.
Aw.
Isn't that just the cutest
It's
thing in the
adorable.
world?
I love them so much. I just want them to be happy.
I know, me too. They need their happily ever after.
They do.
So as they pull into the docks the next morning,
Mhm.
Arthur is there, and he's like, Jellyfish, you told, my dad. And he's like, he's the only one that can really get you into your mom's house. Like, he's here to help. He's
Valid.
like, I guess. Also, I did want to mention that Jellyfish Jones' name came from the kids, because the kids, Tristan, Tati, Claire, and all them, because they thought when they were children it was funny.
That's
So he just
cute.
rolled
He
with
just
it.
kept it. That's
Yeah,
adorable.
he just rolled with it.
I
So
love
he
that.
is such a great parent. We love him.
We do
He's
love him.
probably the only parent that we love.
Ye valid.
So Arthur's waiting there at the darks.
The
The
dorks?
docks. He's waiting there at the docks to help them get to Amara's house unnoticed, because, right, Evie and Tristan are wanted. Everyone knows their names and their faces now. So
Yeah, at this point, they're plastered everywhere.
right, and their
So-
actual faces and names. So
right.
so he's like, I'm gonna get you guys there unnoticed. And then unfortunately, Kingsley has one of his moments where he just starts to hop away. And they're like, follow that frog. Well, luckily for us, Kingsley, even in his absent-mindedness, hops to Amara's house.
Oh, good.
So like they're going to the same place no matter what. So it's good.
We love that.
And he hops into the back kitchen, and this is where we meet Winifred, otherwise known as Winnie. Okay. So as that happened, Kingsley's like, how can I prove that I am someone that she can talk to, but like I don't have my signs, and she's trying to hit me in the room and hide me. Like, it was like a whole little scene in the kitchen. Back at the manor, because we have those POVs, we gotta switch it up. Back at the manor, the male Guarv, he breaks out.
Great.
Okay. He breaks out of his cage, and he's like freaking out. Lissa's like there in the courtyard with Becky, because they run out to see what the huss and bus is. And Lissa's like, oh my gosh, it's okay, it's okay. And he has that purple venom, right?
Yes.
Spraying over Lissa, which is supposed to be like deadly.
Poison. Yeah.
And Becky's like, oh my God, this is on my phone. My gosh, she's dead, blah, 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 blah. Well, all of a sudden, that venom smoke clears, and Lissa is glowing. Yes, she is glowing. So does she have powers? Is it the starlight power from her mom?
Is it the
I
starlight?
don't know. No one knows, but she's glowing. And she decides, because she's a child, to climb on top of the Guarv to ride it. And Becky's like, absolutely not, get the fuck down. So she goes after her, gets on the stupid Guarv as well to go get Lissa, and then the Guarv takes off.
Yes, truly.
So Lissa, Becky, and the Guarv are flying in the sky, doing their own thing, little adventure while she's glowing. We have no idea. But we're going to go ahead and get back to what Tristan and Evie are up to. They break in. They have like a little moment with Winnie, which is actually cute. She's like, you're scaring the poor girl. And he's like, well, we're breaking and entering. and then
Kind of
Winnie,
the point.
right, and Winnie ends up stabbing him in the hand with a fork. And he's like, there's a fork in my hand. And she's like, well, obviously a spoon couldn't do that. And they're like, whatever. Like, and then Amara's like, get in here. Like, we're talking, right? So Amara knows they're there. Who, by the way, and I wrote this in there just for you, Justine. Amara is a cunt.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I put that in there just for you. So during this whole thing, Tristan and Mara are like face down. They're like facing off with each other, and he's like, she's wishing that he was dead, and like she's just saying all these.
She's literally like, if anyone
horrible.
is deserving of the "See You Next Tuesday" label, it is Amara Maehrer.
Oh yes, because she's the one that portrayed them originally for Kingsley to be turned into a frog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the way that she treats Tristan is just horrific.
Like, she loved Malcolm and she loved Claire until Claire turned on her. Quotations on that.
Yeah.
But she has never given an ounce of love to Tristan. Growing up, she's always said there was something wrong with him. He's evil. He can never care for anybody. She wants him dead. Evie, hearing all this, can't contain herself, and she gets up and slaps Mara in the face.
Yes, she does.
And everyone, including Tristan, are just so shocked at this. They're like, "What the hell?" And Arthur's like, "All right, look, everyone, just calm down. Like, let's just, let's just take a break." And as Amara's talking, she's like, yeah, I know you're going to the Southern Kingdom. I know you need the shoes, and I know you have the wand. And Tristan's like, wait up. How do you know all this? Turns out Claire, his sister, has been corresponding with her about Tristan and about what they're doing and everything. Now, she says it's because she was trying to close and mend the gap between them. But she is feeling very guilty and shameful and sorry about the whole situation because
mean, I'm
clearly
sure.
Amara does not give a shit and does not want to mend or close the gap between them.
No, she does not.
But, however, Amara, being Amara, does decide to be helpful. So she says they need an enchantress to get into the Southern Kingdom to get to the enchantress that they want. So they
Right.
need an enchantress to get the enchantress.
Right.
In walks Winnie. And she's
Oh, boy.
also very rude to this girl. This girl's supposed to be like a little servant, like a
Yeah.
little, you know,
Like a little
steward or
maid or
ward.
whatever.
Yeah. And she's just like, can you keep your magic to yourself? And like, she just talks down to her. Like, she's very condescending to Winnie. And in walks Winnie, who happens to be the enchantress's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Amara explains that when all this stuff happened with Kingsley, she took the daughter, raised her basically as her ward for a moment like this. So she never really cared about the girl. She just wanted her as like a bargaining chip one day.
Is this surprising?
No.
No.
So Amara says, I'll give you the shoes, the glass slippers, and Winnie. However, when you go and free the enchantress, you have to bring her back here to me. And we're like, okay, that's weird. But
For
they
why?
need but they need her, so they're like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, it's raining outside, like very heavy downpour. They go to leave. Arthur's like, listen, the roads are flooded. I think we should stay here. The villain's like, nope, we're gonna leave. And Tati and Claire are like, hey, like maybe we should stay. And
Yeah.
Evie stands up and says, hi, person he cares about. If he says we leave, we leave. It's a done story. So she's standing up for him, with him, by his side, right? Especially in front of his parents. And his mom makes fun of the fact of that she said that he cares for her because he's like, oh, like he can never care for anybody. He can never truly love anybody. All he cares about is himself. And guess what happens?
What's next?
We don't know because we have to go back to Blade at the manor. Like how I set you up there, didn't I? So we're back at the manor. Now, what's happening is Blade apparently woke up. He jumped onto Fluffy's back.
You were sleeping this whole time?
Yeah, remember he got knocked unconscious in the starlight?
Oh, yeah. That might be. I was like, I hope he was sleeping.
No, he's just taking a nap.
Girlfriend's riding a guava?
No. So he jumps on the back of Fluffy and he's going after them, right? And the
Yeah.
Guarv like looks back at them and like he like knows that they don't want to be there anymore. So he's like, all right. So he like tips off to the side. They go falling. And Becky and Lissa are like, oh my God. And then Blade catches them on Fluffy's back.
Naturally.
Right. But then they decide to land and follow the Guarv, and the Guarv had led them to a nest with 2 like rainbow colored eggs in it.
Oh,
That are most likely not viable anymore because of how old they are. But there are 2 eggs in it. And apparently Lissa is still glowing. She has no idea why. She's afraid she's like her mom, and Becky assures her she's not. And she's like, listen, you might have your own magic. It might be similar to your mother's, but you are not. You are Lissa Sage.
So, okay. Nora has the magic.
Yes.
Gideon has a magic.
Yes.
Lissa has a magic.
Yes.
That's
I
not
know.
fair.
I know. And what I also don't understand is the magic system, because Gideon's magic is not Nora's magic.
Correct.
He's like a siphoner,
Yeah.
right? And then, but Lissa's is like her magic. So I'm curious to see if in the new book more explanation is that if it really is the Starlight magic,
Yeah, if it is the same
or not.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
feel
hoping
like-
it's something different. Like I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's kind of like new just to
Right.
Lissa.
so that like each person can have their own like ability. I feel like
Yeah.
would be nice.
Yeah.
Unless something happens to the mom and they need that Starlight magic.
And then you
I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So that all happened. As that's all happening, Keely and Gideon
Mhm.
are with the female Guarv, and she's sedated. So they're like waiting around until she's not sedated because they can't move her without, more help and stuff. So they're like, okay, like we got to get her out of here. So as she wakes up from her sedation, she's getting angry. They open the cage and they're like, we're going to make her chase us. Out the tunnel system. As they're escaping throughout the tunnel system, there's like 10 guards at the front, and Gideon's like, wait, no, guard change shouldn't be for another 3 hours, and there shouldn't be 10 guards here. This was a trap.
Oh no.
So where Keely just goes for it. She's like beheading people and like killing people and like she's
I love love for her.
I know. So Gideon's like, oh, I guess I better help. So he helps. They take down the 10 guards or whatever, and the Guarv escapes and flies off. And they're like, well, shit, that's another problem for another day, I guess, because at least she's not in King Benedict's
we got
hands.
her out. Yeah.
Right. However, because Gideon's like, hey, like, this was definitely like a setup, like that shouldn't have happened. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, I'm also surprised that you came out to do this. It's 3 days after you got hurt and the boss told you not to do anything for like a week or two. And I thought you were going rogue. And she's like, no, I got a missive from the boss. And he's like, what do you mean he didn't tell you? You got a missive? Who wrote the letter? And she's like, oh my God, it's the person that always tells you what's happening right before it happens. The letter telling Keely to go on this mission, okay, was none other than the person meeting them and greeting them every morning, Marv.
Biggest wrench in my mind that
Oh my God,
Marv could do something like that.
Honestly,
it makes
didn't
sense.
Understand. It does. Like when she said that, I was like, oh my God, he does. He literally goes, oh my God, this is happening. Or, oh my God, this is happening. Or, oh my God, this is happening. Or he's there, but you're not.
You
to
never
like lower
focus.
suspicion from him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh, that is so smart, Marv. I hate that.
I hate it. But like that was such a good set. Like I just wasn't expecting that at all. Marv was the last person other than like Edwin that I think that I
This is why I have trust issues. This is why I don't trust anyone.
I get it.
It turns out being Marv. And then they also end up kissing. And like the heat of passion. And then she's like, why did you do that?
You get a kiss. You get a kiss. Everyone's kissing.
And she's like, why did you do that? And he's like, you kissed me back. And she's like, I don't know what you did, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, let's just get back to the manor. So they're on their way back to the manor.
Yeah.
After they kissed. We're going to head back to the villain.
Oh, finally.
Yes. Justine, this is your favorite part. Okay.
Oh.
So the villain and his mom are fighting, okay? And they're fighting about him not being able to care for anybody else and that, he could never love anybody. He's very self-interested, all this stuff. And this is where we get our angry love confession. He loves Evie. He's like, I'm not going to stand here and let you accuse me of not caring for anybody or not loving anybody when she's standing right there, basically, right?
Yeah.
So he's like admitting all this stuff and she's like, Tristan? And he's like, I got to go. And he like bolts. Because he can never confront anything.
Typical Tristan fashion.
Literally. So afterwards, admitting it, he goes to leave to get some air. It's, again, raining outside. He heads down to the barn. And, of course, Evie being her, she decides to stalk him and then, like, push him up against the barn. And she's like, I thought the first rule in villainy was not turning your back on your opponent. Right? So she's like, we got to talk about this.
Clearly.
He's like, it doesn't need to be like, it's not that big a deal, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, did you say it just to like get back at your mom?
Right.
And he's like, no. He like takes her face in his hands. He's like, no, I didn't. I love you. So they start kissing and things start happening and
things are
warm in the barn. And I gotta honestly with you, this was not as explicit as I thought it was. The first time I read it, I don't know why, because I think I was just so excited for them.
I think in our heads we made it more explicit than it was written.
We did too. Because it's like, oh, there are moans and there were, teeth and there were licking and, stuff like sighing and stuff like that. But there's not really like explicit.
It doesn't
details.
Straight up tell you. Like in true YA fashion.
Correct.
It's very fade to black. But in our heads, we get a bang, bang, bangity bang.
Yes. And I think the biggest thing too, right? So like as they're going about this and stuff like that, he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I'll stop if you want me to. And she's like, no, I don't want you to stop. He's like, no, but like, I will though if you want me to. He needs her to know that, yeah, he is a villain, but not to her.
But not to her.
Stop whatever is happening if she gets uncomfortable, if she doesn't want to do that. And like, I love the consent in that. Like, I always love those little moments. So I put swoon on that one.
Me too. Because that's just so sweet. It's very out of character for who you think the villain is, but it's very in character for Tristan with Evie.
Yes, 100%.
So
And like
good.
I love like I don't know, I can excuse a lot of bad behavior in books
Sure,
when it comes
same.
to morally gray men.
Me too.
But I can't excuse cheating
No,
and I can't excuse non-consensual things.
I agree.
Everything else I can pretty much excuse.
I'm
What?
gonna say I agree.
I said almost. I mean, if something pops up, we could talk about it, but
Uh-huh.
do you have something in mind?
It's a different book.
I don't care. Show it class, Justine.
I've recently found out
Oh gosh.
that
Is it stalking?
it is the
I
stalking.
can't do the stalking either.
There are
You
some
can.
very not consensual things that happen in that book,
See?
but they become consensual.
No, I don't like it. It's not consensual
Okay.
at first. I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know some
Okay.
people do it. I'm not trying to kink shame, and I'm not trying to say anybody's right or wrong in that aspect. Because some people really do like those like stalker
No,
romance
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I personally just can't do it. I don't think anything about it is sexy. Like I don't mind if like they're in the same place together and he's like watching her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever, but like
but not straight up like following.
like cameras in the house and like knowing her daily
Yeah.
schedule and
Yeah.
breaking and
Yeah.
entering and stuff. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
really into that.
I didn't think so either until I started reading the damn book. And I was like, am I attracted to this?
You like the
Something
attention, Justine. It's
Wrong
okay.
with me. I must. I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
Anyway, back to Tristan and Evie. So they're getting a little hot and heavy,
they're
right? So
heating up
he's
the barn.
undoing her. He's trying to undress her and trying to get off her corset.
Yeah.
And he says, and this is one of my favorite quotes in this whole thing. I think I texted you right after I read this the first time. And I was like, oh, Justin. Like I freaked because the quote is
think that it's more explicit.
right. The villain goes, "This is difficult when you're wet." And
Mhm.
Evie's response is, "I thought that was supposed to make it easier." And when you've been reading about these two characters that you wanted to get together for 3 whole books, okay? You make it
No.
so much dirtier in your mind.
You do. Okay, I probably envisioned this whole thing going down in my
Yes.
mind. In reality, Hannah's like, "Oh, quippy, 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 quippy," and fade to black. And in my mind,
Literally.
I'm like,
The next
"Wow,
morning."
I've seen everything."
Yes. It's the funniest thing. They
Mhm.
also have like a nice little sweet moment in this part as well, where he's like a little tornado, and she's like, "Why do you call me that?" And he's like, "Because much like a cyclone, you pick everything up and leave it in different places." And she's like, "So I make everything wrong?" And he goes, "No, you make everything right."
If that's not a swoon, I don't know what is.
Like I love that they can banter and joke about things in 1 minute, and then the next minute they're also being
They're
serious.
so
and, like,
serious.
loving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
so freaking cute.
So then it fades to black,
Apparently.
and they have to go to the Southern Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay, so they all hop in the carriage. It's no longer raining. Arthur's going to drive them. They hop into the carriage. They go towards the Southern Kingdom.
Don't forget my favorite part.
What's your favorite part?
Evie and Tristan are just like
Yeah, they're holding hands
the
in the
whole
wagon.
They're like sitting next to each other. They're like
Everyone's like,
attached
"So
to the
you
hip.
guys?" And everyone's like, "What's going on here?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yes, we're holding hands. You have a problem with it?" And they're
Yeah,
like,
and they're like,
"No,
no,
no, I guess
Oh.
not. Okay, sure." Yeah, they're
No
holding
problems here.
hands. They're
They're-
stealing glances.
They're
in
full
love
blown
together
out
in love.
in a relationship
Yeah.
together at this point.
Yeah.
One
They are.
night did it in.
Yes. Well, 2 whole books.
The
did
2
it
whole
in.
books and one night.
Yeah. To be honest.
We can do
Anyway,
it.
they arrive at the Southern Kingdom. Okay. And Winnie is like, "I don't know if I can do this, but I'll try." And they were talking to her and she's like, "Yeah, like I can tell like people's intuitions. For example, Tristan, you hide your feelings.
Sure.
Evie, you hide your feelings behind a smile. Tati, you have the best parents in the world, but you're always afraid of like failing them." And Claire's like, "Okay, stop. You're done.
No, please don't read me.
You're done." And then she goes on to Kingsley and she says, "You are not what you appear." And Tristan's like, "Yeah, he's a king and he's a prince and a frog body."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, sure, that's it." And I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean that's it?" Because I'm suspicious of everybody. I can't trust anybody. Marv was just a traitor. So I'm
I
like, what does that mean?
I
What
know.
does that mean?
All I need to say is that Kingsley has to stay a perfect little innocent frog because I have him tattooed on my arm.
I honestly, I love you to death, but you remind me of the people that got Tamlin tattooed on
This cannot be Tamlin level.
No, it probably is not
Hatred.
Tamlin level, but I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. And everyone's like, man, I love Tamlin because the first book came out and then the second book came out, and then everyone's like, oh shit.
I fear that I may have fucked up, but we shall see.
He might become your new favorite villain, or who knows? I don't know. Remember,
He might.
the way Hannah writes is she makes everybody suspicious and
She
never
makes
lets anybody
everyone
explain. And then, like, the
suspicious.
next chapter, they're like, oh, yeah, actually, it was just this. And you're like, oh, like,
The
Roland. The whole thing
people
with
who you
Roland.
Think
Yeah.
are suspicious are not suspicious, and the people
Right.
who you would not ever think to be suspicious
Right.
are suspicious. So
Right.
I also hope that that is the case here,
Yes, because of that.
or I'm gonna need to figure out a cover up.
Anyway, moving on. Uh, so they get into, so it actually ends up working. Winnie's gets them into this utopia of this kingdom for them. However, as beautiful as it looks, Kingsley tells his inner monologue that it's all a lie. And you're like, oh, okay, what's that about? But he's home after 10 years of being away.
I'm so happy
he's
for
home.
him.
So he goes rogue,
Yeah.
and they all end up chasing him.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're trying to get down to the dungeons to get to the enchantress, and the frog goes rogue, so they all go chasing after him. And then he's like, oh, like he blinks back into consciousness, and he's like pointing, and they're like, oh, there's like a shortcut this way, and he's like, let's go. So they follow Kingsley down all these windy roads and everything, and as they're doing this, like Tristan and Evie are glancing at each other. They're like giggling like little schoolgirls.
Literal,
He's making sure that like he picks up the hem of her dress so that it doesn't get dirty. Like
literal schoolgirls
Yes,
giggling
literally.
through the back alleys of a
And while
palace.
they're doing this, Tristan's also thinking in his head, well, shit, if we're actually successful in this and he gets turned back into a prince, Evie's going to see this prince who's not bad looking
Yeah.
and then also has the mannerisms and charms of a prince. And he's like, oh, that's not going to be good for me.
This drives me
And-
nuts.
I know, but she's like, and so they end up at the end of the hallway, and Tristan's like, why did you lead us here? And Evie's like, who is that? Because there's a portrait.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's Alexander. And she goes, huh, he is attractive. And Tristan's like, yeah, but he doesn't kill people. And she goes, how boring. Proving again that she is in love with Tristan for who
There's
he is.
no one changing her mind.
Exactly.
It's Tristan or
So-
bust.
The frog then hops like through the portrait because it was like a secret entranceway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they all go after him, and they end up in the middle of the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and guess who's all there? The king, the queen, which are his parents, the guards, and Amara.
Son of a monkey.
Okay,
I
would you like
dislike
to know what
this
happens
woman.
next?
Absolutely, I do. But you're not
Wait.
going to tell me.
No, we go back to the manor.
Yeah.
Okay, so back at the manor. Gideon. Could be their name. Keely and Gideon. Gideon are racing back to the manor, and they find that the manor has been taken over by King Benedict's valiant guards.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're like, oh my God, Gideon and the Malevolent Guard are fighting these people, taking it back. I mean, workers' heads are strung up. It's bloody. It's brutal.
It's
like,
bad.
yeah.
It's
So halfway through fighting some people, Gideon's like, oh shit, my mom's here. I better go find her.
bad. Mhm.
He runs and goes and tries to find her, and she's like, he goes to her bedroom, and he's like, mom, 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 and he turns around, and she like hits him over the head with like a book or something,
Mhm.
and he's like, what the hell? And she's like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, like I did this all for her, it's gonna be okay. And like in his head, he's like, no, it's not, and like passes out, and we're all like, Nora, why did you just hit your son?
Because
and
we
cause him to go
can't
unconscious.
trust anybody in this series.
Right? And so I was like, okay. Turns out King Benedict also has the memory plant in his
Yep.
possession because he's at the manor right now.
Yep.
And he decides to drain Nora of her magic. Now, Nora agreed to go with King Benedict
Mhm.
if he kept the children out of it. He was like, listen, she's like, I'll go with you, but you got to leave my kids out of it. And so
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, sure. But King Benedict being King B, he's like, And just kidding, I'm gonna take all your magic and kill your kids, basically.
Knee B, don't listen to nobody.
No, he does his own thing. So King
Does.
Bee is, and apparently extracting the magic from Nora is very painful. She's like
Painful.
writhing in pain, screaming, crying, being tortured while Gideon's like tied up watching this whole thing happen.
Yeah.
And King Bee's like just smiling like a greasy gumball that he is.
Disgusting little. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we're going back to the villain and Tristan. The
Right.
villain and Tristan are the same
The
person.
villain and Tristan.
The villain and Evie.
Yep.
So they're in there and they're all waiting for them. Amara was there. She betrayed them. She went straight to the king and queen and told them that they were coming to release the enchantress, right? Because she wants to stop Tristan from being the villain. So they're going to turn him into King Benedict. They at the same time are trying to prove that the frog isn't actually dead, like Alexander isn't dead, and that the frog is Alexander.
Yep.
And they're trying to be like, hey, like Alexander, write down a sign, do this, do that, do that. And it's not working. He is now completely and 100% just a frog. They have
He's
run
full
out of
frog.
time.
He's full frog.
I will also note, and I don't know why this happens, but we talked about this before, how when Evie asks for things, they just happen.
Yeah.
And like there was a guard that was coming towards Evie, and Evie was like, hold on, just wait 1 second. He stops.
She has
like,
some sort of fucking power.
She like goes through her dresses to find her dagger, gets her dagger out, and she's like, okay, you can go now. And then like when she's going to get Kingsley to like put him up on the pedestal to like show the king and queen, he's like behind one of the guards, and she's like, excuse me, can you like move to your left a little bit? And he does, and then she's like, thank you, and she picks up the frog. And I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are the supposed bad guys that just broke into this room and they're telling these parents that their son isn't actually dead and that he's actually a frog.
Mm-hmm.
You're the villains, you're the bad guys, and yet somehow the guards are just letting all this stuff happen.
Evie is a bad guy, but she's not a bad guy.
No,
like,
but
she's
a
an
bad guy
anti-hero.
according to everybody else. Just like Tristan. Yeah.
But she absolutely has to have power. You
She has to
cannot
have
sit here and
something.
tell me that
You
she
can't
doesn't
have a
have
purple bird and call it a day.
Exactly.
Like what? So unfortunately, the frog is a frog. They fail. And the enchantress, who is Winnie's mother, gets brought out in front of them. And she's like, Winnie? And she's like, Mom. And then all of a sudden, the enchantress turns into stone.
Yep.
They were going to kill her anyway.
Yep.
Like that's
They
what
just
was coming
were
out for the
making a show.
execution. Yeah.
Yep.
They were just making a show of it. And I guess they were going to do it in front of Winnie, which is horrible.
Horrible.
Again, these parents suck. The only one that's good is Jellyfish Jones.
Yep.
And so like all hell breaks loose after that, basically. So they're all, fighting and whatnot, and we have to go back to the manor. Well, not necessarily the manor. We're going back to Blade and Fluffy and their little adventure. Okay.
Yeah.
So they apparently on their little adventure are going towards the Southern Kingdom. Now, here is my question. How did they get into the Southern Kingdom when the four of them needed the wand and the glass slippers just to get in?
No clue.
Okay, great. So everything's going to hell. And as everything's going to hell, Fluffy breaks in with Lissa and Becky and Blade on their back. They're like, everybody get on, like we're leaving. And here's what happens. Okay, so the guards are rushing them.
Happen right here.
Oh, a lot of things are happening. So guards are rushing them. They're fighting back as they're trying to get onto Fluffy. Arthur sees that a sword is going straight for Evie. He decides to run in front of it so that it protects her. He gets stabbed, saving Evie's life. Everyone is shocked, including Amara. Amara's like, I can't believe you just did that. That wasn't part of her plan, basically. You know what I mean?
Clearly,
She goes to like walk towards her husband, and Claire, who was Mommy's little daughter, right, was like, stay away, you bitch.
Yeah, Claire.
Literally.
You tell her.
Finally, a backbone from Claire.
Woo.
Right? So they're like, oh my gosh, like he's hurt, like get him on Fluffy. They all get on Fluffy. They all escape somehow. As they're in the air, Tati's trying to heal Arthur, but it's pretty evident that she can't and he's going to die. As he is dying, Arthur confesses to Tristan that he was not his birth father. Amara was pregnant with Tristan and then married Arthur. And Arthur was like, I was still your dad. You were still my son. Like, he did love Tristan.
Such a sweet moment.
Right. But now
it
it begs the question, who the hell is Tristan's dad?
Fudge monkeys is Tristan's
Because
dad.
for you to mention that, obviously it has to be somebody, like, important.
Pretty powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, you are always what you were meant to be, which is remarkable. And the reason he sacrificed himself for Evie was like he wanted him to live with love with Evie.
That's so cute.
I know. And
Arthur,
he dies.
always the
So
good
Arthur
guy.
redeems himself, I feel like, in the eyes.
I've always
I mean,
kind of liked Arthur.
He was absent during their childhood.
He was,
which is bad.
which
But
is not great.
right.
But he was
I feel like
he was that special
semi-redeemed.
healer.
Yes. And he
So
was
he
making
had
money. It's not like he wasn't like
exactly.
it's not like he was like drinking and gambling. You know what I mean? Like he was making a living.
Exactly.
So I feel like he's semi-redeemed, at least. Redeemed.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So they're on their way. They're highlighting things. They're on their way back to the manor. At the manor, Marv is captured and he's like freaking out. And he's like, listen, like I had to do it. I had to do it. We're all in trouble. Like I had to do it. You have no idea, right? And Keely's like, wait a minute. How are you able to betray the villain if you have the green band? Like you should have died. So she goes and tries to like wash it off. It's still there. Like it's tattooed on him. He does have the green band. So if he betrayed the villain, he should have then technically been poisoned and died. But he didn't.
So was it like a loop around? Like he didn't technically betray the villain. He just betrayed the manor because the villain wasn't there.
Right. We don't know.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he's like, this is what's happening. And they're like, okay, like put him in the brig, like put him in the dungeon. So they captured him.
Yeah.
Okay? As Evie and Tristan are back at the manor, they're kind of just talking. They're kind of like, oh my God, this was like a really bad day. You know, the Enchantress died, which is Winnie's mom. Your dad died. Like, we failed. Kingsley's just a frog. Like, they're not having a good time at this point.
No.
And everybody's self-pitying. I mean, I shouldn't say that because I would also do the same thing. But like, everyone thinks it's their own fault, right?
Mhm.
Claire's blaming Claire. Tristan's blaming Tristan. Evie's blaming Evie. Like, you know, it's a whole thing. They're all, unfortunately, in themselves. Well, King Benedict shows back up.
Benny B.
And he wants to work on the true prince part of the prophecy. And you can see that he is holding Kingsley. And you're like, oh shit. Well, he's a frog now, so it doesn't really matter. He decides to let Kingsley go. Now strap in for what I'm about to tell you, Justine.
Oh, no, I'm not ready.
Here we go.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So King B,
Mhm.
King Benedict, is
Yes.
actually Tristan's father. Yeah. Okay. He and Amara, I guess, had an affair.
Obviously.
And she got pregnant. And he said, listen, I don't want a kid. I don't want to get married. That's not happening. And she's like, I want to keep it. So he was like, okay, you can keep the kid if I get to use it later on in life for whatever I want. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Of course, because I'm like that.
Samara is a cunt. Sorry.
So she's like, yeah, okay. So that's how he came to be. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, King B and Griffin Sage, Evie's dad, are like really good friends.
Great besties.
Okay.
Yeah.
It turns out
Mm.
that Evie was born with the death magic.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And her parents wanted to save her. So they cursed a 6-year-old innocent boy, Tristan, with it as they took it from Evie. So King B was like, bro, you're my friend. You're worried about your daughter with this death magic. Guess what? I have a kid. I don't care about
that we could just
We'll just curse him
siphon
with
that
the
right in
magic.
there.
Right. We'll just curse him with the magic. Make him the villain and not Evie. So it turns out in this whole prophecy thing, Tristan is the heart of a true prince, and Evie is the villain. Yes. Kingsley never had a part in this at all. We all thought it was Kingsley. It wasn't. It
We're
was
traipsing around the
Tristan.
southern village.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. So King B has another memory plant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the memory plant, he decides to put it in front of Tristan, and he is taking all that magic from Tristan now.
Yep.
So obviously he's in pain. He's on the floor, retching in pain, being tortured, and it's giving it back to Evie, which is also painful for Evie, but it also feels like something like clicked into place for her.
Yeah.
She's like, it's kind of like singing to me. It feels like home. This is weird. I don't know what's happening, but that's how it is, right? After that happens, And he goes on about like he's like, yeah, we tried to like trick the prophecy, but destiny you can't trick. Like it has to be the way it is. I'm very sorry, Evie. Here's your magic back. Blah blah blah. Excuse me. He then goes to leave.
He's like,
I don't know. He just disappears because then it goes to the next chapter. So like after switching them and making Tristan the heart of the true prince, like true prince that has to save his true love, and Evie the villain, he's like, peace out. I did my job.
This is what I came here to do.
Like,
So was that the curse that he broke then? Was that the whole
so with Evie, we're going into the next chapter. Evie's self-pitying. She's in her kitchen by her window, okay? And she's like, Evie's like, the family that I love and does everything for, basically, rejected her as she was and turned a 6-year-old innocent boy, Tristan, into a villain, right? And she's like, I can't believe this. I now have this death magic I have no control over. I don't know what it does. Like, like all of this stuff. She's the real villain and like all this stuff. And he's like, listen, Evangelina, he calls her Evangelina. It's okay. It's your turn to push me away if you want to, but just know that I'm going to be here for you. It's going to be fine. And she's like, I don't know how you're so okay with this. Like, we just had the role reversal, the fact that, like, I just took your magic, that wasn't really actually your magic.
I feel like he's just strangely calm. Like, he's finally at peace at that point because that wasn't his magic.
Right.
So it was fighting against him for so long.
Right.
And now he's like,
I can breathe.
I can breathe. I can see clearer at this point.
Right. So she's, again, worried about having this magic. She wants to keep the distance from Tristan now. And he's because he has a true love to save, apparently. Okay. And she doesn't want to be the villain in that. And he tells her that they broke each other's curses. That when he kissed her hand, she woke up from the sleeping death curse. And his magic was trying to go home. Because it wasn't his.
It wasn't his. Yep.
His curse was broken. It was trying to go back to its original owner. And he's not leaving her. He's like, go ahead, take your time, try and push me away. But guess what? I ain't going anywhere.
I'm right here, bitch.
I'm right
here.
So that's technically the end of the book. However, there is an epilogue. Okay.
Where things get dicey.
And in the epilogue, Claire, and like I said, they're all blaming themselves for everything that happened. Right. Yeah. And Claire's outside in the courtyard on the steps and she's like, oh my God, this sucks. I suck. This never should have happened. Blah, 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 blah. And a man walks in front of her, stark naked. And she's like, what the hell? It turns out Alexander Kingsley is now human.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Right. He can't speak because I guess for 10 years he hasn't spoken. So he's like having trouble with it. So he writes a letter assigned to Claire and it says, it's me. She docks it. She immediately recognizes the handwriting as the same handwriting on the letters that were given to Lissa, telling her to go visit her dad. It's the T with the crooked dash.
Oh, I was going to say it's on my
arm.
And
then the book ends. It's over. It's done.
There has to be another reasoning for why Kingsley has the same penmanship as this person who slipped the notes under Lissa's door.
I think you're being just weirdly optimistic because you have a tattoo of him.
I love Kingsley, and I've always, from the very get, I'm like, this is my boy.
I think he wanted this. The thing that I think is that maybe he did all this so that the prophecy and destiny could take its toll. Like it has to be done.
It has to.
And so maybe it was a way for him to then return to being human.
Maybe to move things along, to like urge things along. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. For Adversary to the villain to come out.
Oh, 100%. How can you switch that? Evie is now the villain. Tristan is now the heart of the true prince. Alexander is now human and has the same handwriting.
Yeah.
As the one of the traitors.
I know.
Also, even if he does, how did he do that as a frog?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing that I don't. How did he do this as a frog?
And Marv is still a traitor too.
Like what's going on with Marv? Right. But Marv was saying that like he had to. So who forced Marv to do this? And why is Marv still alive if he betrayed the villain?
Right. How is that? Like, does the green ink not work? Is it Claire? Because he gets the green ink from Claire. So like,
did she not actually put the poison in the ink and like because she had this disdain for him, right? So
right,
like did she tell him that she did that and like didn't actually do it so that
right.
none of them actually have the poisonous ink? But why was she carrying a pot of that very same ink with her?
See,
She threw it in Tristan's eyes on the book.
right. I don't know. I don't know, Justine. It doesn't make any sense. I don't trust anybody, so I'm questioning everybody and their motives.
Trust
If I had a wall with string, that's how it would be.
Connect the dots.
They all have motives, Justine. They all have the
all
ways
do.
and they all have motives.
They all do. And I'm nervous and excited to read this book next week because
I need answers.
we've been waiting a year for this answer to come about because so we have a problem and when these books release, we read them right off the bat. So that we have a whole year until the next book makes their way right back around.
To be honest, that's not just an us problem. I feel like that's a majority who get into an unfinished series problem.
That's 100% accurate. Yeah. The issue is though we started when only the first one was out. So like it wasn't like we were able to catch up and then we've just been waiting. We've been like consistently waiting a year between these books. And I need to praise Hannah because she gets them out.
Fourth Wing.
It is, but Hannah gets them out a year apart exactly. So like when we're waiting, we're like, okay, we know next August, this is coming out, and we're about to eat it up. With Fourth Wing, we don't know when Rebecca's putting this shit out.
No,
got so much going on.
Yeah,
and she hasn't even started book 4. She just started book 4 at this point. But I don't know. I honestly have no clue what to even think about what's happening next and how this next book is going to start. And
I keep following her on TikTok.
Same.
She gives like little hints on
She does.
Yeah.
But like none of them are satisfying for me or make sense. And I think that's rage baiting us. She is rage baiting us. That's exactly what she's doing. Yeah. This series will forever be one of my favorite series that I've read, and it's not even complete yet. So
I know. It's because, like we said before, you can read it for the fluffy, cute little romance, magical, whimsical part of it, which is great, your first reread. But then when you go to reread it, it's like you get so much like deeper meaning and like subplots and like, you know, there's actual depth to these characters too.
There's so much depth to these characters. There's so much that these characters have been through in their childhood, in their past, to lead them all individually to where they are now. Collectively. And I think that it's just written very well in that sense where they all have so much trauma in their past, whether they know about it or don't know about it, because Evie just found out about this most recent traumatic thing, right? Her parents literally were like, "Oh no, we don't accept you as you are.
Right.
We're gonna try to put this onto someone else. And they were fated.
Child.
Yes, but they were fated to find each other. It doesn't matter that they moved that power over.
She was 1 year old.
Yeah.
Kristen was 6. They're 5, what, 4? Well, they're 5 years apart. So she was 1.
That death magic started showing
just like,
early.
No, let's not give this to her.
Yeah.
They didn't even like try.
They didn't give her a chance.
Yeah, not at all.
No. And I feel like that speaks volumes. Like you said, there's
Nora not being even able to control her starlight. Like, that's fucking hypocritical, if you ask me.
So hypocritical. I think that they were thinking like a young girl, like a baby. You know, like The Incredibles, when Jack gets his power. They just can't control it. Like Jack is wilding out. You know, he's got everything under the sun.
It only surfaces when someone's under duress,
but not Evie. Clearly,
it didn't surface then. It was one of those counselor people that saw it in Tristan before it ever surfaced, and that's why they were training him before.
Oh, well, but then how did they know that Evie had that power? Because they took her to somebody?
Yeah. I guess it was one of those. I forget what the hell Hannah called it, but it was one of those people that can like see people's potential magic. Saw it in her. Just like how that person saw it when it was in Tristan, And
Yeah.
King Bee was like, I'll take you under my wing. Like, we'll train you. It'll be fine. And then all of a sudden they stuck him in the dungeon for a month. And then it came out. So it did not come out of her.
Interesting.
It was just dormant laying within her. That person was like, yeah, she has the death magic. And they like freaked out and decided to curse another child with it instead.
That's just poor parenting.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Is very poor parenting. These parents don't make very good decisions on behalf of their kids or on behalf of themselves, honestly.
Very true.
The only parents that are so kind are Tati's parents. And like,
Oh, yes.
I feel so sad for everyone else who knows Tati's parents and like sees their relationship
Yeah.
because theirs was nothing
There's gonna
like
be
it.
jealousy. Yeah.
There's
For
going to be
sure. That's gonna
jealousy.
be normal. Yeah, that's normal.
I would be jealous if I
I
was in
would.
that position.
Oh, 100%. I'd be like, why
100%.
don't I have that with my dad? Or why don't I
Yeah.
have that with my mom? Or
Exactly.
like my parents didn't even give me a chance as I was.
Exactly. Apparently.
Yeah.
So I can't even begin to make predictions as
No.
to what happens in
No.
this next book.
I think Kingsley plays a part in it, but I don't think he's like the main bad guy traitor.
He can't be.
Like I think he
I
maybe played a part
refuse-
for like his own certain like I just really wanted to be human again. Sorry, I messed you guys up with this.
Yeah.
But it would be crazy for him to be like the real. Well, he's not the villain. Evie is the villain technically.
Evie
But,
is
like,
the villain, but like there's
anti-hero
still the
villain.
traitor.
Right, the traitor. We'll say traitor.
Yeah.
Be easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think like he's part of it, but not as big of a part. But like it would be crazy for him to be like the traitor. I think.
I agree. I feel like there has to be another. I don't think it's just Marv. I don't think it's just Kingsley. I think there's
they found
something
But footprints in the Thorny Grove, more than one set.
more than one set. It's
Right,
it has
so-
to. It's someone else. I don't. Is it Kingsley's parents? Is it Amara? Who is it? Why are these people aiding King Benedict
Right.
in this way? And it's
Right.
not. Well, I don't know. It could be the malevolent. Some people from the malevolent guard. It could be people under Tristan's command because we don't know if that green ink actually works because Marv didn't die.
Or if Marv has a green band, is it the one that he was supposed to get?
Is it
Or is
the-
it just like
exactly.
normal ink that he dyed green?
But if Claire's already looked at it, she would be able to tell
But
exactly
Claire
what that
didn't
ink
look
was.
at it. Keely looked at it.
Keely looked at it. Well, we need
Yeah.
Claire to look at it. And I'm going to need Claire to offer up some insight here. I'm very nervous that Claire didn't actually use the magical green ink.
Yeah.
She just used regular green ink
I'm worried about that too.
because she didn't approve. Because for the longest time, she didn't approve of Tristan's
Correct.
dealings.
Right.
So why would she willingly give him ink that would kill?
I don't think she
more people.
approved of anything that he did, and I don't think she wanted to be a part of it, but I also don't think she wanted him dead.
I don't think she wanted him dead, but I'm not saying that she set this up. I'm just saying that I think that she purposely didn't give him the poisonous ink,
Right.
which may have been a downfall in her
Right.
judgment.
Right.
But she wouldn't have had any idea that this all was going to be unfolding. I just think that it's a piece to the puzzle where she was like, well, I told you I gave you the green ink that
You know
actually
what?
would
Watch
kill
the traitor
them."
be like Tatiana.
Could you imagine?
Could you
There's-
imagine?
I actually cannot.
I can't. I don't. I mean, I could, but I can't because
I cannot imagine her.
personality. But like, I could. I would love to see this pink little girl who's bubbly all the
can't-
time. Just be like, haha, it was me. I'm the traitor.
I can't imagine her betraying Claire.
I can't imagine her betraying Tristan when she left everything. She left Claire to be with Tristan.
Be with Tristan.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
help him in his stuff and everything.
That's
That's
true.
my biggest thing too.
Yeah.
But you
I-
never
I
know, people's
can't see it.
motives.
You never know though. I mean, I couldn't see it being Marv. Marv was literally so
Marv wasn't
far
even like a
from,
real character. He was
No.
just like thrown in there once in a blue moon.
He was the guy who watched the door.
Yeah.
And that's I literally
He
did
was like,
not
"Oh," and
think
he said hi
twice
to
about
Miss
Marv.
Sage.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, cool. Marv's not like a real character. He's in the ensemble. He's not like
That's why I don't think that it could possibly be him.
it has to be someone juicy though.
He has been working at that castle, Marv has, before Evie was there. So why now?
Because of the prophecy.
But then who put him up to doing it? He doesn't give a
don't know.
flying fuck about the prophecy. The prophecy doesn't affect him at all.
Yeah, I don't know, Disney. I don't know. It's one of those things we are unfortunately going to have to wait and see
We are.
in the next book, which is
We are.
so exciting,
Which
but
is
also
well,
frustrating as hell.
it is, but that's
Putting us
okay
on a
because
cliffhanger like that.
next Friday we're going live
Mm-hmm.
and talking about the first 10 chapters of
Yes,
Adversary to the Villain.
because we can't wait to talk about it.
Because we cannot wait to talk about it. There's no way that we're going to have a gap in this, and that's why we lined it up this way so
Yeah.
that we could go over each one of these books and straight into the live show
Yes,
with the first 10 chapters. And then following those first 10 chapters, we will go ahead and split it up like we did these books in another 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to go over
So
this
excited. I cannot
live.
wait.
Yeah, it's going to be
cannot
great.
wait.
I'm just because I truly have no idea what to expect. So it's gonna be a fun time.
It is.
That's all
It's
I
gonna be
gotta
a
say.
great time. I think
It's gonna be a good
where our
time.
minds are gonna be blown. I think it's
Blown.
gonna be chaotic because it always
Yes,
is. And I swear,
always.
if there's multiple POVs like it was in this one, I'm gonna cry.
It's gonna. I really hope she doesn't.
I'm gonna cry.
I feel like
2
a
or
lot of
3 is
people
fine.
had
10,
that's-
no.
not as many as we had. No, 100%. But everyone's just gonna have to come join our live next Friday, and we'll talk about Adversary to the Villain. Yay! Yay! We will see you next week.
See you next week.